Hello, hello, hello. It is a beautiful day. This is Queen Mother with Queen Mother Speaks every Wednesday, every week, live at 10 a.m. New York time, 5 p.m. Kenya time. And today we're going to have a continuation of some things that we started last week. You know, last week we had Miss JENETRIX on the show, who is the founder of the Police Wives Welfare Association. She's with us again today, and we are expecting some police wives who are widows, and perhaps maybe even a young lady who is an orphan to come into the studio today to talk to us about their experiences in life and life happening to them in that way. This is Queen Mother with Queen Mother Speaks and the Queen Mother Speaks show. I want to say to you today, I want to give a shout out to Nana Afua Adesua. Nana, as you well know, is also our co host. She is on the road traveling back and forth, so she may or may not make it into the studio. Just a moment, let me allow this guest who's just now entering to come in. Okay, there she is. Okay, and there they are.
Yeah.
So, ooh, looks like they don't have a stable network. It keeps coming in and going out, but let's see what's going to happen with that. But again, we want to thank Nana for being a host for the Queen Mother Speak show during the entire month of August. Okay. She was our host for the entire month. And thank you again, Nana. We're going to look to do it again to have you on the show, hosting a complete month. We're now in season 9 of Queen Mother Speaks. And as we're in season 9, our theme at this time is if not you, who? If not now, when? And to tell you absolutely positively that the time is now. Now, this famous quote is meant to inspire you and other people like me and you to do action in our own lives. You know, we're only 3 months from the beginning of a new year, isn't it? Right? Yeah, we are. So we're saying it is you that's got to make the change in your life. And the time to do that change is now. So think about what steps can you take, right, to make something happen in your own life. And that's the message about the theme. All right, we want to take a moment again and give a shout out to Mary Cordelia, to Virginia in the USA, Am and Weedy, and Claire. Claire and Ann are here in Kenya. We want to give them a shout out. A shout out also goes to Ambimbola, Lady Mo, Ursula Anderson, Michelle Ernestine, High Priestess Seyshot, Carmen, Tina, and Stephanie, all from Atlanta. All from Atlanta. I wanted to let you know who's in studio today, but one of our guests keeps coming in and going out, coming in and going out. So we'll come back to doing that with you. I want to encourage you to hit that like button, share, and comment. Let people know if you're tuning in to the Queen Mother Speak show. And every week after the show, when I go over to Facebook to see who's been here, I notice that we have a lot of guests, but sometimes you don't say anything. So Queen Mother wants to invite you to please give us a shout out, hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that comment button. Okay, seems like our guest is trying to get back in the studio. There she is. If there's something you can do to add more light, Nelly, please do. It's very dark. So if there's something you can do to add more light, please go ahead and add more light. Please go ahead and add more light. Okay, thank you. I want to take a moment and give a shout out to all of those people who are having an October birthday. We're now in the month of October. And for each of you having a birthday this month, we say to you, happy, happy birthday. I'd like to give a big shout out to my girlfriend, Dr. Deetra Badijo. You'll be hearing more about her next week, but she has a birthday on this coming weekend, and we want to give her a happy birthday shout out. I give another shout out to Caleb Neverson, okay, to her name is DePauli with the Art of Living Institute, who's been on the show. We give a shout out also to Leela for being on the Queen Mother Speak show. Queen Mother wants to encourage you to stay safe, wash your hands, okay, and remember, it's on you to keep yourself safe. Even though they're saying today that the pandemic is over and we're all glad to hear that, I still want to encourage you to keep safe. Queen Mother Speaks is a safe space for information, inspiration, and expression. There's also the show that's called Bonga Dada Bonga. Bonga Dada Bonga, Speak Sister Speak, which airs every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Bonga
Kenya
dada
time.
bonga.
Bonga Dada Bonga, Bonga Dada Bonga. So, what is Queen Mother Speaks? Queen Mother Speaks is a community platform for conversations and commentary on things that matter. We also take time out to share information with you about expatriating to Africa. We want to inform you, we want to inspire you, you want you to laugh, and we want you to know that we invite guests on the show with hearty dialogue. And we also always give you an inspirational verse. Now, from the Art of Living Institute, we had an online breathing session. This is over a year ago. And we now incorporate that breathing into the Queen Mother Speak show. And the way we do that is you breathe in slowly through your nose to the count of 8. You hold to the count of 8, and then you release very slowly again through your nose through the count of 12. So it's 8, 8, 12, 8, 8, 12. So we're going to get ready to do our breathing right now. We're going to do 3 breathing breaths, and I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose to the count of 8, hold to the count of 8, and then release again through your nose to the count of 12. Are we ready to do our breathing exercise together? Here we go. Okay. Breathe in. Hold and release through the nose. Okay, let's do it again. Breathe in through the nose to the count of 8. Let's go. Once more. Very, very good. One of the things I learned about breathing, and thank you for breathing with me. One of the things I learned about breathing and controlling your breath is that it can help you to release stress at any time just by learning how to breathe in and release. When things are going on in your life that feels out of your control, you can breathe and bring yourself and release the stress inside of your very, very own body. Looks like another guest is joining us now. Let's see if we can bring her on screen. There she is. So in studio today, we have Miss JENETRIX, who is the founder of the Police Wives Welfare Association. She's going to talk to you more about that. And we also have in studio Miss Nelly. Nelly, thank you for going to another space. Okay. And Nelly is a widow, and she's going to share with us what it's been like for her since her husband traveled on. And she's also going to share with you some things that she would like for you to do to help her. So, right now, we're going to go to our affirmation for today. Okay. And our affirmation is I am open to new thoughts. I am open to new thoughts. I am open to new thoughts. Rumi said, look past your thoughts so that you may drink the pure nectar of this moment. What if life is so much more simple than we've created it to be? What if our main responsibility is to move through life without worrying about anything? We are already worthy. Nothing can change that. God knows what we desire before we ever even ask. So God is all knowing, all powerful, and everywhere evenly present. In truth, all of our needs are really already met. I die to my old self. I die to old thinking. With every death comes a renewal or a birth. And I welcome a new way of being in my life. I welcome a new way of thinking. I welcome a new acceptance of fulfilling experiences. And I give God full control over my life and all of my affairs. I appoint God as the executor of my life. I kick back and I live in the moment, knowing that God is there for me. Thank you, God, in me, as me, through me, around me, through the Christ within, and so it is. All right, our scripture for today is, and we know that those who love God are helped by him in everything for good. That scripture is Romans 8:23. Thank you for that. All right. Now we're entered into the month of October, and October is about order. Order. October is about order. So as we awake, we want to train and discipline our center of order. It's an essential part of our God given potential. We think, we reason, and we establish an orderly growth for ourselves. This process must be the God inside of us and the God idea as we cooperate with divine principle. Divine order is established in all orders of our lives. Our relationships, divine order, our finances, divine order, and our affairs are harmoniously coordinated and balanced. Thus, we live in God's plan for our higher good. God has given each one of us the freedom to choose, to think consciously, to make decisions, and determine the direction that we want for our lives. As we grow in consciousness, we also feel a sacred responsibility, individually and collectively, to make a positive difference in our life. From our harmonious, happy feelings within, we begin to bring forth God's ideas into our environment. How do you bring God's idea into your environment? Well, I know this. If you be still and seek the Lord, he will bring you answers. So those answers come through our feelings that are within us, and God speaks to our mind and he plants ideas in our mind. And from those ideas, we can implement them here on earth. And many of those ideas are ideas for the betterment of people or for us to make money so that we can take care of ourselves and and our own families. With God, we have to create a more loving and peaceful world for all of us. So I affirm that my life today is in divine order. All right. I want to take a moment now and talk about GOTV. What is GOTV? GOTV means get out the vote. Get out the vote. And we want to invite each of you, regardless of your party, to make sure that you get your ballot in. And in order to get your ballot in, you have to know what state you're in and write to your state and find out what you need to do to vote. But by now, we're starting to receive ballots. So if you haven't received your ballot, contact your state and find out what you need to do because every vote counts. Every vote counts. Very well. You can go to www.votefromabroad.org to request an absentee ballot for this November 8th midterm that's coming up very shortly. Under federal law, local election officials are required to send you your absentee ballot all overseas. So all you have to do is what? Request it. Just request for your ballot. All right. And you should have been receiving your ballot starting from last week. I received mine. So if you haven't received yours, please check with your state. And again, if you have any questions about voting from abroad, you can go to Democrats Abroad because there are volunteers all over and they're to help you. Once again, www.votefromabroad.org. All right, very well, very well. Okay, the next thing I want to speak with you about is who's in studio today. So right now, Ann Oching, thank you, Ann Oching, for tuning in to Queen Mother Speaks. We thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm now going to open up the studio so we can see who all of our guests are today. And first, I think I like for us to be speaking with Miss JENETRIX. Now, JENETRIX is the woman who founded the Kenyan Women Wives Welfare Association. And she's going to tell us a bit about that, and we'll have some dialogue with her. And then we'll go over to Miss Nelly. And Miss Nelly is going to talk to us about how she's coping in life since her husband made his transition. Nelly, I'm sorry, JENETRIX.
Yes.
Go ahead and
Hello,
start.
hello,
Yes, tell us about
hello.
this.
Hello.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hello too.
My name is JENETRIX. Thank you so much for having me in your show. I'm so
Yes.
grateful. I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I am, as I said, my name is JENETRIX Orwa OtIenO. I'm the founder of National Police Wife Welfare Association and Police Widow and Orphans Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of coming up to found the National Police Wives is because I saw my sister who was married to a police officer. He passed
Mm-hmm.
away on the line of duty. I saw the struggle she went through with small
Mm-hmm.
children without any income. She was a housewife without anything.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her children dropping out of school and I felt so bad. So I keep asking myself, these women, they don't have anything to kneel to or to support them so that when a husband dies, they can move on with their life without depending on police officer's salary or the pension. Because in my country, the system of police, it is kind of poor. They don't take care of police families. Once police officer has passed on, what they do is just bury him. They promise, but they don't follow up to know if the police children are going to school, what the widow is going through. The government don't take care of that. So
Mm-hmm.
you find the women following that pension, a lot of ignorant also make our women don't understand where to start.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that is why I said I have to form this organization so that the women can empower themselves to be self-dependent.
Okay.
Uh, Something happen like this, you don't have to follow, then you don't know where you are going, you have no one to help you, you don't understand the system. So you have to be independent all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went on, I wrote the proposal. That proposal was not received well because we have some who was questioning me, "Oh, what do you want to do? How can you start the organization like this and yet you are not married to the police officer? What is your agenda?" I kept on explaining on them. Those are the commanders. I kept on explaining to them. Then I used my sister's story. I saw her struggling. She went even in a depression because of she don't have anyone to support her. The children want to eat. She don't have food to give. So I managed to register the organization, which is Welfare of Police Wife, to bring them together. Then I said, let me start with these women who are still married to their men, who are still alive, so that we don't want to wait for police officer to die so that you empower the wife. Let me empower them when their husband are still alive. So I managed to get the certificate. Then I started working in the camps to bring these women together. And that is what I'm grateful, because I have managed to bring them a number of 600. Now they are active, and the others are dormant because we cannot reach them. Lack of support and lack of logistic. Because you find many of them are in a remote area, they cannot connect to the internet. So reaching them, we found is something very hard to do. So like when we get a member in that county, we have to tell her to go and mobilize the members to tell them what is about National Police Wife. So we have managed to bring them. They do chamas, those small chamas, to keep them going and talking, sharing the challenges they pass through. And in that group, you will find 2 widows, 3 widows are among those police wives. Yeah.
Okay.
So if, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So what we are trying right now to do, because the challenges of police families, you cannot even explain, because sometimes these women are very scared walking around. You find police wife cannot stand in the middle of people to introduce herself that I'm married to police officer. But for me, NAPOA want to transform these women to be proud of marrying police officer. Marrying police officer, it is a blessing. Then I want them to know that they are heroes themselves, because marrying someone who you will just see in a year, you see him maybe 3 times or 4 times. You should be a strong woman to do that. Men can and the others cannot. So for me, police wives are so special women and very strong women. We keep telling them they should be happy. We want the organization to make these women, wherever they go, to stand and say, I'm married police officer, without fear, without feeling that if people find out that I'm married to the police officer, maybe they will, I don't know how I can put it, but many of our women, they are not proud. And we want the organization to bring them up. Yes. They are not proud.
Why is it that the women are not proud to be a police wife?
They are not proud because of stigma.
The women are not proud to be a police wife?
Because of stigma, and then because the civilian or the public, they treat police officers like they don't respect police officers. They see police officer like the enemy of the society. So when they know that you are married to these women, to these men, you also become the enemy number 1. Because when they see you, they say, oh, you are the one who take bribes. Your men take bribes and then they bring for you. That is why you maybe you find the other women are fat. So the public think that the policemen take bribes and then they take to their wives. So you find the women married to policemen, they don't want to introduce themselves in the public. But for me, I want them to introduce themselves and be proud when they say I married to the policeman.
Yes.
So
Yes.
calling them names, I don't want them to worry anything. But most importantly, I want police wife to be independent, so that when something happen, like what happened to Nelly, she can be able to educate her children, and she can be able to support herself without struggling. And that is why Nepal want to reach every police wife around across the country.
Can you tell us some of the programs that you have in the Police Wives Association? What programs do you have for the women?
Okay, our first program, we meet online and then we talk about the challenges. They share. Once they share, when we see the serious one, we share with our counselor, because we have our counselor online, and those who WhatsApp, so she follow up and then she talk to the women. Then also we teach our women to make soap, liquid soap. We have others who know how to bake. They can make cakes. We have others who know how to make beadwork, and then they sell among themselves. We teach them. Also, what we are doing right now, they are focused on chama. I don't know, merry-go-round. In Swahili word we call chama. Yeah. Then I
How is that going?
realized in that chama, we have those who can afford 500, 1,000, and others cannot afford. So I came up with a strategy where everyone have to participate in that chama. Last week, I started another one called Mama Care. That Mama Care, I want them to feel that they can afford to play those chamas. Mama Care is only 20 bob. I told them join that 20 bob every day so that you can buy milk. You find a police officer who works in the border or in Lodwa where there is no network. Then the woman is in the village or in Nairobi. She don't have money to buy milk. She don't have money to buy diapers. So when she have this 20 bob, she can buy milk.
Okay,
And she cannot.
please explain to the audience what a shama is and how it works, because that's, I think, something that's done a lot in Nairobi or in Kenya, let's say. Let's explain exactly what a shama is. Now, excuse me, Miss Nelly. Miss Nelly?
Yes.
One, you must be still. You can't keep moving around. Number two, we cannot see your face. We cannot see your face. Can you go back to where you were, where we can see you? We cannot. Can you understand? Can you see her face, JENETRIX?
I'm not seeing her face.
So
Nelly,
Nelly, all we see. Okay, that's better. Okay,
that's better.
That's better.
Okay, I had a problem.
Okay, and Nelly, you need to be still. Yeah, stop moving around. Be still. Right? Just if you just stay right there, and I'm going to keep you on the screen now. Okay, okay. Keep going, JENETRIX. You was explaining what a shama is.
Chama is when you come together like 10 people, then you pick a number, you say you are number 1, number 2, number 3. And then number 1, we bring money together, we put in one basket, we keep number 1. If we say we will be contributing every week on a Monday, so every Monday we give number 1, another Monday we give number 2, another Monday then we give to, it is like a chain. We give people until we finish that number 10. So you find these women, when they get jama, they go and do business. Someone will say, let me go and buy orange. I will sell some orange. Then others, they say, I'm going to buy shoes. Then I will sell. I have seen others, they buy, then they bring to the group to sell among our members. Then we have this still chama, we buy food stuff. We have named it Napoa Kitchen. Napoa Kitchen, we have like 20 members. We bring money, we put together, and then we give to a member. A member go and buy food stuff. Then she posted that food. When other members who have not joined the chama, when they see, they want to join. So that is the beauty of chama. Then we have monthly chama. Then
so
we have
so depending on the number of people in the shama, if there's 10 people, then there's 10 weeks because it goes around. Then the pot is empty.
Yeah,
you start over again. Yes.
Yeah, it is merry-go-round. It is merry-go-round. We go like that until we reach number last, and then we have this daily jama mama care. If there is someone who can support that mama care, I have noticed police wives. Most of them, their men work on operation area where they live alone. Then those police officers, they have a lot of loan. They don't have money to send to their wives. So sometimes a member comes and say, "Oh, I don't have food to eat. I want that mama care to have some emergency kit where when police wife calls complaining she doesn't have money to eat, she don't have food. We can have something standing emergency where you can just send her like 500 or 1,000 to buy something to eat. So that wherever police officer is working, when he knows that someone somewhere is taking care of his family, that police officer will work diligently without worrying. And that officer, I don't think he will go thinking behind. He will just focus with security.
So do the men also have shamas?
Okay, some men have chamas, but on our group, we only have the police. We have tried to save their lives. We have some police who wanted to commit suicide. Then police wife reached out. When they reached out, they managed to talk to that officer. Then he aborted that mission. Then we have to keep him closely with us so that we can show him love and to forget that dying is not a solution. Committing suicide is not a solution. So we have managed to bring like 3 on our chama so that we keep them close. They don't go to commit suicide.
Okay, wow. And how long has the shama been in existence through the Welfare Association?
Okay, it has been there because Napoya has 8 years now, and Chama we started 2020 doing Chama. Right now we are saving towards Sako, where we are looking for well wishers to come and support police wives across the country to open the Sako for police wives, where they can come and loan money to put a small business to support themselves.
Okay. So the shama seems to be one of the more successful activities, if you will, inside of the Welfare Association. Okay.
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned that you do things with orphans and widows, a foundation for orphans and widows. So now we like to turn our attention to Miss Nelly. Nelly, thank you for joining the Queen Mother Speak show. Can you hear us? Very well. So tell us a little bit first, Nelly, about yourself and your family.
Okay, thank you. Oh, are you getting me?
Yes, please
I'm Nelly
raise your
Jelagat.
voice a little bit.
I am I am Nelly Jelagat Tanui
Okay.
from Bomet County.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm 47 years old, a widow. I got married in the year 1997, and we stayed peacefully with my husband up to late last year, July,
Mhm.
is when he passed on.
Mm.
So I have 5 kids, 4 girls and 1 boy. The firstborn has just completed high school. The same case to the secondborn. The thirdborn is now in college. The fourthborn is completed last year, KCSE. And the
Yeah.
lastborn boy is in grade 4. So since then, I was happy to
Mhm.
be with my late husband, police
Mhm.
officer who was hardworking. But I know
Mhm.
as we've talked, uh, God knows why. So since then, there are some encounters we are encountering as widows. First of
Mhm.
all, uh, assessing his dues is quite a problem since uh, you can go to these big offices trying to get your benefits. Reaching there, it's one challenge. First of all, is that office you are just very new. You meet several people. Some may handle you properly, some may not.
Mhm.
I think we need to see what to do because it's quite painful. Because the first thing when the officer dies, the only last thing you can see in your compound is the time they shoot those 24 bullets and then they leave. That is the time
Mhm.
you realize that you have, and it's like the chain has been cut because there is no time they'll come for you or rather know whether the children are in school, the welfare of the widow is left, and now the struggle starts. I remember when my
Mhm.
husband died, immediately the salary which he was supposed to get on that same month was stopped immediately. So coming to the
Mhm.
next month, you are stranded. You don't know what to do. First of all, after the funeral is when you realize that these guys, nobody cares about their welfare because I remember it's only just small welfare, that one for the SACCO, that they'll give you that small amount. And that amount will
Mhm.
be used together for the funeral expenses. Now, getting his dues is becoming a problem. You can go to a
Mhm.
SACCO, you find some people, officers saying maybe the loan forms got lost, and that is not your fault. So as a widow, you stay, yani you stay until you ask God why. So let me thank Genetrix, our mom, who came
Mhm.
up and started this organization.
I see. Okay.
This before, pardon?
No, I said okay.
Yeah. So this organization
But
has
I'm
brought.
getting an echo. Excuse me,
Oh,
Nelly, I'm getting an echo somewhere.
okay. How is
Thank
it
you.
now? Is it clear?
It's clear now. Thank you. Please continue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So as they, we are thanking Napoa as foremost our mom Genetrix. This organization will try to bring police women, police wives, in a proper way because
Mhm.
first of all, as a police wife, you know when you have your husband, normally you don't know what time or when he will leave. But
Mhm.
now that we are seeing most of these things happening even in our country, you find a policeman dies, you cannot plan anything for future
Mhm.
because life is too short sometimes because of incidents that happen. So I was saying we need to advocate for widows, and necessarily the children of the officer. Because you find maybe a child had a vision like getting far in education, and since the finances are cut, it's kind of hard
Mhm.
to maintain them. And I think our children are the best because, being a child of a police officer, I think it's the best thing, but they are becoming discouraged.
Mhm.
They get discouraged because what they lack even what to use. Normally, when their father was alive, they could get 1, 2, 3. But coming now to one single mother like me,
Mhm.
who was depending on my late husband, and
Mhm.
now that Napoa came in the time that I had not known it very well. So that time when if I told my husband was alive now, that Napoa, I have known about Napoa, I think I could be somewhere better. Because
Mhm.
now they are talking of chamas, they are talking of poultry keeping, they are talking of so many things. So to me,
Mhm.
it came at a time that I didn't even have even a poultry house. It's now becoming challenging. The benefits
Mhm.
of my husband have not gotten. They are delaying. You go to the office, you get some challenges anyway. Some even may ask even for sex instead, so that they process your
Yes, I can.
documents. So we
Wow.
pass a lot. We
Wow.
pass a lot.
I am
We pass a
amazed as I'm hearing your story, Nelly. But then, you know, people across the world have their
Yeah.
own struggles. But today, what we're looking at is the struggles and the challenges of wives of policemen. You know, policemen
Yeah.
are people who are there to protect and serve. But as JENETRIX has explained, in some cases, people's view, their idea of what a policeman is or a police wife is, their ideas, well, their ideas are not very good. So part of what our job must be and what we want to seek to do through a show like Queen Mother Speaks is to
Yes.
offer more awareness of what a policeman's job is and what they do and work to influence the perceptions that people have of policemen. I know in America we have policemen as well, and for the most part, if you don't have if you have any reason to get to know them or be with them, you really don't. But then what you relate to is the stories that you hear from others of their encounters in dealing with police. My first encounter in dealing with the police was very, very, very positive. And what it was is we had a dignitary coming to town, and I was involved with the company that was bringing the dignitary to town. And the police came as an escort and escorted this dignitary from the airport to a place in the city for the press conference. So that was my really first encounter individually with policemen, that they were there as escorts, right? And they do things like that when there's funerals, the police are around. When there are parades, the police are there. When there's big events and concerts, the police are there to make sure that we keep order in the crowd. So I'm thinking part of what we can do, JENETRIX, through the organization is begin to focus on the things that the policemen are doing in their communities so that people can begin to know that they do good things. Does that make sense? Yeah, do you think that Genetrix, through the Welfare Association, if you started talking about the good that the policemen are doing over a
It
period
makes
of
sense.
time, it may
Also, I would like to appeal to the public to understand the work of police officer, then to love that police officer, because you know, without this police officer,
please excuse, the volume went away. Her sound went away. Can you hear us, JENETRIX? Okay, they are in another part of Kenya, and looks like the Wi-Fi there is sort of unstable, so the communication keeps going in and out. Please excuse us for that. But again, the nature of the Queen Mother Speak show is to do commentary on issues that matter, and policemen.
say it again, you are breaking.
Okay, you were breaking as well.
Repeat
so
that again.
Apologizing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I can hear you now.
I'm listening to you. Keep speaking. We're listening to you. You broke up, but now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Another area that we like to speak about that the association has taken on is dealing with orphans. Dealing with orphans. Orphans and vulnerable
Okay,
children.
first, on my part, I would like national police wives. Yes, I would like to national police wife to. Okay, the orphans. You see, what the government should do is to come up with the empowerment for these women who have lost their husbands on the line of duty, because these women, most of them have been chased away by the relative of their men. So you find this police widow, she's left alone with the children, without no one to care about her. So I appeal to the government of Kenya to pay close attention, to follow up, to have some people who can follow up after burying police officer. They should follow up to know if the children of the police officer are going to school, if the widow is okay. But you see now my system in Kenya, they don't care about that. They assume that this woman will follow the benefit of the husband, then she will get the money and she'll take care of the children. They don't know that behind the scene, you go and fold that money, they ask you for, you need to bribe the people who process that money. Others want to sleep with those women so that they can do the favor. You find this woman follow that procedure, then she give up. She went, most of them, they die leaving the children, total orphans behind. Then you find that these children belong to deceased family of police officers. They become prostitute, they join a tracker addict, then they become street children. I don't think that is good. But if we can empower this woman, if the government don't want to do, I just want the widows to regroup together so that they can do something to empower themselves to take care of their children without depending on anyone.
And you're thinking that the Welfare Association...
And also, if we have people out there who can support the widows, because widows are the women who endure a lot of challenges. When you are chased away from your home with the children and you don't have a job, you don't have any skills, because most of them, they have limited education.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more
Yes.
about the orphans. So what happens when the policeman passes on? Does the government have anything in place for the children who become the orphans of the policemen who pass on, who many are killed in the line of duty? Is there anything in place for the orphan children by the government?
Okay, in Kenya, the orphan belong to police officer.
Mm-hmm.
The only who benefits or those people with maybe high ranks, because when you come from high ranks, they will process for you that money without struggling. Then in police department, you know, we have ranks. The junior officers getting that money, it is a problem. That woman, you will find she's going there looking for that money. Then you will find even police himself, maybe next of kin, he did not write his own wife. Maybe he wrote his mother, next of kin, his brother, next of kin. So when it reaches there, a woman have no say. Because even the system will say, no, you are not the next of kin, the money will go for the next of kin. So you find this widow, she will struggle, the children will drop out of the school. Then herself, she will die because of depression, because she has no one to take care of her. And that is why we need police widows, people to come and support these widows.
Okay.
Because
Do you
sincerely
have a
speaking,
program? Do you have a program, JENETRIX, in the Welfare Association to deal with the well-being, the state of the woman after her husband has left? Do you have a programs inside of the Welfare Association to help deal with the well-being of the woman after her husband has been taken away?
okay, right now we are trying to do that because you see, once the officer dies,
Mhm.
she will move to the village. So
Mhm.
you find relocating that woman is hard to get to find her.
Mhm.
For us, you see, national police wife, we don't have that resources to go and look for her. So for those who are finding us online, like Nelly learned about Napoa through online. And those who doesn't connect to the internet are more than those who have internet.
Okay.
Like the place where Neil come from, a lot of police officers
Mhm.
come on from her side. So you find a
Mhm.
lot of women there, they don't access to the internet. But
Mhm.
Nelly, thank God, she can access to the internet. She find national police wife online. But now through Napoa, because police are dying every day, and
Yes.
thank God in my organization we have only lost 3 officers.
Mhm.
Now we need to start right there with those 3. We want to show these women, when you are here, let us start something to bring you together so that you can empower yourself, your children can look upon you.
Mhm.
And from there now we can it will be so easy for us to access the widows.
Okay. Okay. Question, please, JENETRIX. You know, on the show last week, we had Miss Mary Cordelia, who's with a program called Blissipline. Blissipline is a program about finding your own happiness from within. And she did offer a free introductory program to all wives inside of your organization. And this is a program about well-being. Well-being. Do you remember her from last week?
Okay, I can remember, but the internet was so poor, so I was coming in, going, going out.
Okay, okay. Well, let me tell you what happened last week, JENETRIX. Miss
Yes.
Mary Cordelia, who has a program called Blisscipline, offered free introductory well-being programs to wives, to the policemen's wives. She offered a free introductory program, which is about happiness from within. You see, we all at some point in our lives lose people. So through her work as a therapist, she's developed these programs to help you find your happiness within when you've had a major loss. Looks like you didn't get to understand that. But what I want to do is to make sure that I send you information about this Genetrix. And she has a link, just like I do, right? And you click on the
Yes.
link and you'll be into that free program. I want to make sure that Miss Nelly gets that link and other women who do have internet. But one of the things that they can do, this is just an idea, and I've done this in some of the villages where I work, where I've done my work, especially if the village has a internet cafe. We invite the women to come to the internet cafe, and they all watch from the internet cafe. And sometimes we have as many as 6 women looking at one screen inside of an internet cafe. So let's say most cafes have at least 10 computers, would you say? Do they have 10 or do they have 4 or 5? It doesn't matter how many. But we want, this is just an idea, Genetrix, for the women who do not have internet, that they can go to an internet cafe and can tune in and watch this show
Yes.
through an internet cafe. Does that sound feasible? Does that sound like something we could do? I'm asking the idea of inviting the women, the wives, to go to an internet cafe and they can
Yes.
tune in. Does that sound like something that we could do?
Yes, we can do.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that
We
offline
can. We
because what
can.
we have
We
to
can.
do, yeah, we have to create a relationship with the internet cafe. And then we pay the internet cafe to have the program on the internet. We pay
We
the
can
internet.
do it. It's okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about that offline. That's a way that the women who do not have internet can get to hear about what you're doing with the association, as well as for them to tune in to this free program, okay, that's available to them. We'll talk about it more offline in terms of the logistics of how we actually make it happen, okay? I just want to take a moment and talk a little bit more about so then I do have a program that we're going to introduce next week, Genetrix,
Yes.
online, and then we're going to find a way to host that program at one of the police stations where you can invite the women to come and learn a new technology. And this new technology is a way for them to make money for themselves. But they must come in through the association. And they're going to have to pay something for that. They're going to have to pay something for that because there's materials that have to be used in teaching them this new technique. Even though the police station may give us a place to host it, there's still things we need in order for the process to take place. So that's 2 things that Queen Mother Speaks bring to the table for the NAPOA Association. That's 2 things that we can work with you on, because I said to you, we too want to work with you and in empowering the women, and certainly that is a way we can do it. And we're going to talk about those 2 projects offline. When we do this for the wives, we would like to have some of those orphan children present so they too can learn this new skill that we're going to be bringing to you. Okay? So I'm
Yes.
very happy that we've identified a few things that Queen Mother Speaks can do in working with the Police Wives Welfare Association. And let me just take a moment and thank you, Nelly, for being on the show today and sharing with us from your heart. And when we have this workshop to give this new skill, I'm going to make sure that you're there. Also, for the Blisscipline work, it's a program that'll come online like this, and it's about finding your happiness within, especially when you've had a major loss. I want to make sure, Miss Nelly, that you will be in on that as well. Before we leave the studio today, I want to let our listeners know that the Queen Mother Speaks fundraiser, a Hardy reusable pads, is still going on. Okay, we're inviting your support for the Ahadi reusable pads fundraiser. Our goal during the fundraiser is to raise enough money that we can donate reusable pads to young girls in villages. And here's what the pads look like. Okay, they come in this little package. It's called Ahadi pads, and inside there are four reusable pads. What makes the pads reusable? Because we can wash them after we use them, and the pads can be used for up to 1 year. So we're asking for a donation of 10 US dollars or
Yeah.
1,000 English shillings, and the young girl will get a package like this with 4 reusable pads and 2 pair of underwear. But that's a $10 donation. And the way you donate, you can donate using M-Pesa number 254-796-509-965. Or you can donate through PayPal. PayPal donation would be dashaking@gmail.com. Once again, dashaking@gmail.com. So please support us. Send us your $10. And like I said, the young girls can receive 4 reusable pads and 2 pair of underwear for $10. Thank you for supporting this product. And thank you for supporting this project, because these are ways that Queen Mother Speaks seeks to help others. Before we leave the studio today, I want to take another moment, and I just want to thank you. Oh, we got a, wait a minute. We have a, let's see here. Oh, can you see that? Salute to the Police Wives Association. Thank God for the creation of the Shama program for the orphans. Blessings, Lady Mo from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Thank you, Lady Mo. And we'll be calling on you as well to let you know what we're doing with the women and any support that you can. You see this, Genetrix? The reason why we wanted you to be on a show like this and Nelly is so that people can learn and hear where you need help. So just know that we do believe that help is on the way in the various forms and ways that it will come to you. We want to thank the sponsors of the Queen Mother Speak Show. We like to thank you again, Nelly, for being on the show, and you too, Genetrix, for being on the show. But we've got 2 projects, and one of those projects we must enact within the next 2 weeks. And we'll be talking about it more as we go offline today. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Queen Mother Speaks every Wednesday, every week, live at 5 p.m. And the way we end our show is by giving love in the world. And the way we give the love in the world is we start off with our left hand, we blow a kiss. Then we do our right hand and we blow a kiss. And then we use both hands and we blow a kiss, because we know that love is the only thing that's going to sustain us all in the world. No, we're going to do it together. Let's do it together, starting with the left hand. Let's blow that kiss. Come on, Nelly. Mm, very good. Now we do the right hand. Come on, the right hand. Right hand. Mm. Now we're going to put both hands together. and show and spread this love in the world. This is Queen Mother Speaks. Get some of this. It's good for your heart. All right. Thank you so much. Next week on the show, Mary Cordelia with the Blisscipline program will be back on Queen Mother Speaks. So, Genetrix, get busy and invite a lot of your women to be next week to hear more about the bliss of. But she's offered a free, a weeks-long free program on finding your own happiness. So we got to make sure that you invite your women in to take advantage of that. Thank you very much. We're going to bid you a good day. Again, every Wednesday, every week, live at 5 p.m. Kenya time, 10 a.m. New York time. This is Queen Mother Speaks. We thank you.